Hey, what's up? It's your girl, Madam President, and I just finished watching one of the most realest episodes of TV that I've ever seen in a very long time, and it was from the show Blackish. I like the show Blackish, and it's not the Huxtables, it's not the Bill Cosby show. It is a different world for a lot of poor Black Americans. So, for example, there are not 2.5 million African American women doctors. There are not 2 million male advertisers that are African American men. But, they are professional. This couple is professional. Their children are smart, funny, witty. But most of all, the language is very clear, relatable. But what got me tonight was they mentioned Freddie Gray. They mentioned Sandra Bland. They mentioned Tamir Rice. They mentioned Trayvon Martin. That's what got me tonight. I think about Trayvon Martin often. I think about Sandra Bland often. I actually ordered a T-shirt today that had Sandra Bland's name on it. And one of the things that I love so much about the TV show that said their names is for all the people who had forgot about them for a moment. See, I like dialogue like that. And I know that when the cameras are rolling, it's action. And then when the cameras stop, it's cut. And it's a wrap. But it will never be a wrap for Sandra Bland's mother. It will never be a wrap for Trayvon Martin's mother. It will never be a wrap for Tamir's mother. Here's one of the most difficult parts about a lot of poor people's reality. Because as you can see, the repetition of these kind of events happen in neighborhoods of poor and middle class Blacks. They don't happen in upscale neighborhoods like the set of Blackish. I always think if Trayvon Martin would have called the police first. I always think about that. I said, what if Trayvon Martin would have called the police on George Zimmerman and said, hey, this man is following me. But there's something that is so dangerous about America's white supremacy that it's so ridiculous because, see, what white supremacy is, it's invisible. These kinds of events happen, and then that's when you are able to identify that I'm dealing with a racist that's on the police force. So I was thinking to myself, and I said, how do we end racism? How is that possible? And there's a simple fact. Ending racism is impossible. Black people were not able to vote until 1965. That's not that long ago. So we have people that have a democracy, a country that they have to vote for that so many years ago, they were not even a part of. Now people and politicians walking around begging for their vote. My grandmother had years that she couldn't vote until the law was passed. And we all know that was hell to get an opportunity to vote. So when you see people of color on TV, you have to acknowledge the fact that, number one, that they're there. You have to listen. You have to open your ears. You have to open your heart. And most of all, you have to never forget about the names that they mentioned. Never forget Sandra Bland. Never forget Trayvon Martin. Never forget Tamir Rice. Never forget Freddie Gray. See, the most dangerous part about what has transpired in those instances, in those deaths, is that many people went unconvicted. Many officers still have their jobs. Some of them were on leave with pay. But as our black celebrities, people who are all into celebrityism, as they talk about the Gucci and the Fendi and Kanye West going on a rant about his clothing line, why don't you put your clothing line on the people that's been catching crossfire and they're buried? Allow them to be buried in your clothing line. Rappers who go and pop bottles, go buy some caskets. Because we are dealing with a race war in America. But see, the thing is about this race war, here's one of the things I want people to identify with. There has always been a race war on black Americans, and black people have always been losing. And I'm not talking about the number of black people who've been able to excel under unusual circumstances. So what? So what? I got a degree. So what? My friends got a degree. We got the debt that go along with it. So what? We can form sentences. We are not more important. Our lives are not more valuable than a person that does not have an education. Our lives are not more valuable than a person that cannot form sentences. And see, that's the issue that we have with America, is that they want to separate us in this order of importance. God created all man equal. It has always been an issue in America of how they view blacks, how they look at blacks, how we handle their adversity. The crazy part about this is, I'm just happy Blackish said their names. I won't hold you any longer. 7 minutes of me just talking. I'm Madam President with a Z, and I love my brothers and sisters, and I'm happy that Blackish said their names. Madam President with a Z. Good night.